the kingdom of Murtana, united by King Robar II. During the long years of his reign, he was able to defeat all foes of his realm. All except one. The war against the orcs took its toll, and the prisoners of the realm were to pay the price. The king needed swords for his army, and every man guilty of a crime, no matter how insignificant, was forced to work in the ore mines of Corinus. To make it impossible for them to escape, the king sent out the best magicians of the kingdom to create a magic barrier around the entire valley. I was one of them. Something disturbed the delicate structure of magic. We were trapped inside our own barrier. 1 second of negligence was enough for the prisoners. Corinus was now under the control of the convicts. The king had no choice. He had to negotiate. He needed the ore. Month after month, the king supplied everything the prisoners needed. Month after month, they brought the ore to the edge of the barrier in exchange. Until the present day. Another convict was brought to the cliff. He did not know, but he would change everything.
In the name of King Robar II, bearer of the scepter of Verant, I sentence this convict to...
Stop! Convict, I've got an offer to make you. This letter must reach the leader of the Magicians of Fire.
You're wasting your time.
You may choose your own reward. They'll give you anything you ask for.
Very well, I'll take your letter. On one condition. Spare me the rest of his nonsense.
How dare you!
Keep silent. Right, send him in.
Welcome to the colony.
That's enough. Leave him alone. And now scram. Get up.
After that warm welcome, you meet the Shadow Diego, who gives you a short input about the colony, including the Fire Mage's whereabouts, where you need to deliver the letter to. They live in the so-called Old Camp, not far away. As the intro has shown, the Old Camp uses their ore mine to blackmail the king and making a nice living out of it. The camp consists of different social classes like the Diggers, which work in the ore mines, the Shadows, which are the trainees to become a guard. Speaking of guards, the guards are the overseers of the camp as well as the old mine. Then there are the fire mages, which, well, are fire mages, and the ore barons, which rule the camp. Besides the old camp, there are also 2 other camps, the new camp and the sect camp. The new camp attempts to collect the ore in their mines called the Free Mine to use its magical energy to blow up the whole barrier surrounding the colony. In this camp live bandits, led by the fuck called Loris, the water mages which came up with this blasting idea, and mercenaries which were hired to protect the camp and the mages, and oversee the digging of course. And in the end there are the usual peasants and diggers. The sect camp lives secluded in the swamps. The sect loonies pray to their god called the Sleeper for salvation and waste their leisure in the meantime with other activities. Their community consists of the novices, their task is amongst other things the production of swampweed, the Templars, the protectors of the camp, and the gurus, which are the religious leaders of the camp. but back to our hero on his way to the old camp. Arriving there, we receive a warm greeting and even a warmer one when we try to sneak up into the inner yard to the fire mages. In order to get in there to deliver the letter, we need to be part of the old or any other camps. Sadly, becoming a member of any of the free camps involves a lot of dirty work and also other activities. Once we are part of the club, nobody gives a damn about the letter anymore, since we've been entrusted to exterminate insects, partake in evocations, explore orcish graveyards, and figure out that the god the whole second camp has been praying to the whole time is in fact an evil archdemon. After this debacle, you get sent to the water mages in the new camp to help them out with their bombastic project of blowing up the barrier. The leader, Sadorus, entrusts you with the dangerous, exciting, and adventurous task of a fetch quest. 4 more Foki need to be collected to make their magic ritual of blowing up the barrier possible. Conveniently on each Foki location we bump into one of our old friends we've met during our journey, which will help us to retrieve them. These are the Shadow Diego, the Fire Mage Milton, the Mercenary Gorn, and the Novice Lester. Once retrieved, there is still no Big Bang in sight, since the water mages need the support from other magicians to perform the ritual. Due to recent cave-ins of old mines, which was the only way for the old camp to blackmail the king, and the loose temper of the ore barons, the fire mages are currently unavailable. So to find any help at all, it comes down to finding a mage who was exiled by the fire mages long ago because of his interest in the dark arts. His name is Sardus. Once we've located him and his pet demon, the first thing the necromancer throws at us is that all the work we've done for the water mages is for the gutter. The only way to destroy the barrier is to find the source which made it go out of control back at its creation and annihilate it. This source was nothing else than the archdemon the Seclunis were praying to the whole time, the Sleeper. So instead of helping the water mages, Sardus orders us to find an exiled orc shaman called Urshak, who couldn't know about the location of the Sleeper. Fortunately, he knows about the whereabouts. Unfortunately, it's in the middle of an orcish city where humans are only welcome on a silver platter as their dinner. Fortunately, there is a pennant called the Ulu Mulu, which brings great reputation to the bearer and so the respect of the orcs. In other words, a way of getting into the city without getting torn apart. Unfortunately, only an orc called Tarok is able to make this pennant. Fortunately, he is a slave of the free mine in the new camp. Unfortunately, once you get there, you quickly realize that the old camp has taken over the free mine. Well, karma's a bitch. Well, in the end it comes down that we need to slay our way through the mine, getting to Tarok, bringing him the materials taken from the innocent creatures of the nature to make this pennant, so we can finally enter the orc city and get into the Temple of the Sleeper. After a quick stroll in the temple full of undeads, skeletons, and flying bedsheets, we quickly realize that we lack the proper weaponry to defeat all the foes which stand in between us and the Sleeper. So instead of a regular, we need a special sword. A magical one. In the sunken tower we discover one. It's called Uriziel, which is totally uncharged. Well, luckily there's still this huge magical ore heap to charge it. The water mages foe were not really amused by that. Oh well, tough luck. Once the Sleeper is defeated and the barrier is down, we won't see them again anyways. Back in the temple, we'll face the Sleeper for the final encounter.
When the sleeper was banished into his own dimension, I returned to daylight. The magic barrier had fallen. But for me, the adventure had only just begun.